Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another scene from the living world of darkness, Rage Across New York, wherein a certain 10 point is going after a certain Fianna +1. Not aggressively per se, but perhaps leaving the cabin in just about the right time to catch Aiden post second patrol. Gotta walk some shit off, I guess, but whatever the case, she by now probably knows fairly well about the time it takes him to do his course. So she'll be rousing up from the porch, putting things away, and probably just stepping down to stand at the base of the stairs as he comes back around at the end of his walkies.
Yep. Doesn't really say much, comes in, walks up on the porch, immediately grabs a drink, sits down, staring out at the sept.
And yeah, she'll hesitate and give him, perhaps regrettably, give him time to sit down and get comfortable first. But once that is done, we'll go ahead and come back up the steps and plop herself on her knees a bit next to his chair instead of directly in front of it in a formal fashion. Raya.
Yes, 10 point.
It has been a long time, Raya, since you have taught me.
What do I need to teach you for this time?
Raya, if I had been doing my duties to you as a packmate, the frenzy with Dallas could have been avoided.
And what duties were they?
As your Omega, Raya, it is my duty to balance you out and to ensure that such urges are taken care of elsewhere so that they do not affect your pack, your allies, and the sept.
Nods, staring down at the glass. So, tell me, 10 point. Answer me this question. When you put yourself out there for everything you do, that passion, that fury you give to protect everything you have, and what happened there was a result, how would you feel?
And she kind of purses her lips on that one. Passions ran high, Raya.
They get to tell us how to feel. When we die every day for them, we fight every day for them, we give our lives for them. And that Bonar Philodox dares to call me a coward.
He was only kin, Raya, and I am sure he is unclaimed. He doesn't know.
A mule, nonetheless. After all, who was howling the loudest when the kin died?
We all heard you bay for blood, Raya. And the ones that were worth having. They saw what you did and what you were willing to do. But the ones who have never known the direct care of being claimed, the ones who have never seen a guru fight for them, seen the results, seen what happens, all they know is that they are missing family. All they know are their personal suffering. And while one of us died, What, 3, 4 of them did? They can't
Yes,
understand the difference.
and he parades it around like a badge of honor when the kin died. Do you know, I follow orders, 10 Point, and yet I'm the bad one. It's funny the way this set works.
You were only the first to speak,
I obey.
Raya.
Yet, Jacob, the noble Silverfang that he is, chose to scream at me as if he was dominant over me.
Delusions of grandeur
Funny.
are not uncommon here, Raya.
You'll learn. I'll see to that. He'll just
I
nod to himself.
only beg that you consider the time that I am taking with him, Raya.
What is your goal?
To teach him better.
Man like that does not want to be taught. He wants to hear his own voice and ride around in his own ego.
It is not nearly so direct as the teachings that I receive, Raya. Some must believe it is their own idea to change.
Do you know why we get so angry, 10 Point?
Of course.
Do you really? His eyes lift up very calmly as the bottle settles down very gently on the table.
She's fairly relaxed at the moment, so she's not like keen side-eyeing him or anything. I have lived my life with the pulse of rage in my heart and in my veins. And I know how deeply our tribe feels. There's no reservations. There's no walls. We simply feel.
And yet, someone wonders why we are so angry. As the guru, you lean forward looking at her. One questions that.
And she kind of purses her lips for a second, kind of licks them in preparation, and opens them to speak. But we'll kind of cast a glance around for a source of distraction because she could impart things, but Aiden's not in the right mood to hear it. What are the chances there's like a lifeline over there down the way? Dallas, buddy.
Dallas.
Fanny! That works. So yeah, she'll kind of glance up and around. It's I mean, again, the lack of subtlety means that it's probably pretty clear that she's like, oh, look, a shiny new distraction, and kind of glances over just as Dallas is coming out, perhaps prompting Aiden to look the same direction. She can hope.
Well, there's a sound of a breaking wooden chair as she just kind of knees it into oblivion as she's holding it and just drops the splinters on the porch, goes back in, grabs another one, stands out on the porch, knees it into oblivion, drops the pieces, walks back in. This continues until every chair in the cabin is destroyed.
Point thanks Gaia for the shiny new distraction.
And then she will calmly step over the pieces, walk towards the front porch of the Seeker's cabin. Catharsis.
At some point, will somewhere along the way have gotten out her odd little wooden carved prayer beads. There's semblances, like on one end is a more delicately carved leaf. Well, not delicately so much as more detail carved leaf, but she is rolling these idly through her fingers.
Aiden, I had an idea.
Oh,
Yeah, I think we should destroy every chair on the set.
why?
Well, I figured that the kinfolk would prefer soapboxes.
I. Why would I concern myself with the kinfolk of a mule? In fact, I'll take care of my kin, real kin.
Wait a minute. She stops you right there. Was that? Was that Bonar that was there today? Was she a mule?
No, she's a Hamid. But that kinfolk that was speaking so loudly had no, well, suitable gene to him. He doesn't respect the old ways.
Very few do on this set.
Aye. After all, you're a guardian like myself. Imagine what Jacob's going to be saying to Eric.
I guess I would be thinking about it if I thought about Jacob at all.
Like I said, they'll give out to us for doing orders. I find that quite hilarious.
I was fine. I was keeping my cool, and I was just there to act as, well, a big body if it came down to you or anyone else losing their temper. Then they started throwing things at you.
Aye, and they wonder then why we're so angry. They question how a guru can have rage. That's the one for the ages.
Honestly, it's it almost makes you wonder, why not just step out there and man, if they would only see the monsters that we have to fight, and it's our duty to fight to protect them from. If they could
Then
see
again,
them, if they were face to face with them, just let them for a few seconds wonder if we're going to jump in to actually help them.
They've been sheltered enough. They don't know better.
aye, and with people like that, Philodox teaching them they'll never know better. But they want to make enemies of us. They can. I no longer care. I do a duty to my kin and my kin alone, and my tribe. Jacob wants to speak of tribalism. After all, didn't we warn him about the kin problem that he so proudly knows of? He just have this very sarcastic smile.
So, question, is Dallas actually wearing the thing she was left?
Roll your perception and alertness.
I will. I'll even let Aiden fucking go for it too, because he probably will recognize her handiwork. Let me quickly start scene.
Three.
Ooh, that is the wrong number. Nada.
Nada?
Not for me.
Aiden.
Fucking Aiden saw it.
Aiden.
I imagine he knows fucking 10 points handiwork. Assuming she has it on at all.
Yeah, Dallas is wearing it, but she's not wearing it around her neck. It's sort of woven into the. It's more or less woven in to like the sash that she wears around the edge of her pants.
Yeah, I imagine at that distance, it's just there's obviously a bone bauble. I don't know how well you'd see the details at that kind of distance.
I
It's
just
tucked in
staring
there.
at it.
It's tucked in there pretty tightly. Like it's not
He just
dangling.
makes he just makes note of it, you know, almost just nodding. So they'll have their investigation. It'll turn up nothing. They'll have a word with Eric. He'll probably get a bit of a slap. But the main problem is, the main thing they can say is we handled the spiral problem. The kin are safe. Reality is, there'll be a bit of dick waving, a bit of Jacob's holier than thou complex, and William White standing on a soapbox. Kin will be happy and they'll be provided for. I just think it's hypocritical. And he just throws his packet of cigarettes on the table.
Well, William White is involved. Hypocrisy comes with the territory.
It's not even William White. It's the whole process. God forbid when they were crying about their dead kin. And God forbid when they were roaring and hollering. Who was out there fighting and dying for them? Those kin who suffered. Tortured to death. They didn't mind us coming in and saving the day. But now, when we solve the problem for them, now they're crying and claiming we treat them badly. The fucker didn't even let me finish my sentence. For every kin I saw dead, I took that into my heart. That woman that was there, I knelt in front of her and took her in as my family because she's kin. They'll never understand the level of devotion that we have, or they won't ever accept it. So why do they get to insult me and mine when they will never try and understand it?
Because they've been taught here about the endless rights they have. Because no one's willing to enforce the hierarchy.
They have rights, I would agree. Kinfolk should be treated well. But there's a place. And shouting and screaming and causing all sorts of havoc and firing rocks at Sept Guardians is not going to get them anywhere.
If it hadn't been for that fetish flute, things would have gone much,
Like I said.
much poorer.
All I would have was reminded him of his place. He says quite coldly.
It was the wrong time and place, Raya.
I know. But everyone mistakes emotion with aggression. And everyone presumes. That's their favourite tactic. So, I'm going to stay out of it. They want to have their little crusade, let them. I'll do my duty and protect them without them ever thanking me. Because that's what I do. Every day. Out there and patrolling. And out there fighting. Gaia doesn't need politicians. Gaia needs warriors. He shakes his head. Well, what do you make of it, Dallas, then? You seem to get pretty heated. You smiled.
The Sept I come from, the kin there, they know what we do, what we have to endure. They know the evils that are out there and they accept them. Most get kin aren't dissatisfied or disgruntled because they know what we do. But these privileged kinfolk, the ones that haven't had to grow up in a true warrior society, They go on and on and on and on.
The new
Forgetting the
world.
hierarchy.
The new world is full of new ideas, yes. But we hold the old ways for good reason.
And
Just
perhaps
like,
you should teach them, Dallas.
oh, my method of teaching wouldn't be well thought of.
There's many forms of teaching. For example, you're a warrior, you're in a room, hold classes on what to see, what to look for, how to combat it. Take an hour out of your day, teach them the old ways.
Perhaps, yes, if they think they can do so well without the aid of the guru, you have an opportunity to show them how hard it is. Not necessarily to be cruel, but to offer insight.
Then he'll nod, like almost like clicks his fingers at 10 point. Bam.
I suppose maybe. Be a
Well,
lot
think of it this way.
easier.
Can gesture for her to go on.
It'd be a lot easier for them to understand if they had to throw down against a Krino-sized werewolf. Even a Glabro.
So
Like to
long
think
as
of it
they
this.
knew. Sorry.
You go first. You go first.
So long as they knew, yes, that they were in no real danger, it would offer some clarity on the dangers they face. If at even half the size that you can become, you can easily press 10 of them aside. They will perhaps appreciate that if we are dying, the threat must be grave.
Also think of it this way. And he smiles his wicked smile. When that rut questions you again, how many people will support him now that they're more educated?
I think it would be best if our antlered friend here were involved, and not you, unfortunately.
Now, why
I
is
think
that? And look over at 10 point.
You tend to have a short temper.
Me?
now there's the side eye.
You frenzied the same day I did.
Well, that's because someone attacked me.
Well, to get you out of your rut. I did, and I make no apology. It got you out of the mood you were in. Gave you a chance to burn off every bit of that hot cauldron that sits right in the center of you. And then you were able to expend every bit of your stamina, every bit of energy that you had without your rage building. She shrugs.
So what you're saying is you don't want me going near the kin because I have a short temper.
Because they're going to see. They already threw things at you, right? Not those particular kids. At least, if any of them show up.
So his hands will tense slowly. I see.
Right.
Well, by all means, if you want my Omega to go with you, go ahead.
I'm gonna P&E that.
I'm a lip sub that.
I'm spending willpower. Are you gonna spend willpower?
Nope.
No. Okay.
One. Just the one success.
Would you consider this site-based?
I would say so.
Yes or no?
I would say site based because you're trying to read him.
That's a total of 4 successes with the willpower.
Fine doesn't mean fine, Vinny.
And Aiden will be like I said, the fact that you can read off him, the fact that Aiden was the most vocal, the most protective over everything, and now they throw rocks at him, it stings a lot.
She's not. I imagine that she's not like sitting up by him, but she's sitting on like the steps.
Yeah, I would say so.
So she just kind of reaches out and grabs a hold of his foot and gives it a squeeze.
Gives her a look like, what are you doing?
Tensions are high now. The ones that matter will come round.
They have their opinions.
Well, they say those are like assholes.
Yeah, well, they have their villain. So, if that's the role I'm deemed to play to serve the nation, then I will.
Aiden, look at your pack. Look at me. We're 5 of a kind here. Unique. Because we come from places that are still connected to with what values have gotten us through every single hard time, every single war, for thousands upon thousands of years. We've been doing things the way we do. Kinfolk that don't want to see, or that don't see it, don't want to. For what it's worth,
Like I said, raise an eyebrow.
there's no doubt in my mind that if I were to have anyone watching out for my kinfolk that wasn't me, you're the only person that I would really trust with them. Perhaps Skavgard to a lesser extent.
Like I said, they've made their opinions clear, Dallas. So let them have it. When they all cry and whinge about what needs to be done, they'll come running here and ask me to fight. It's always the way.
And fight we will. Do you know why?
I know why, Dallas. They'll just nod. Like I said, it's very interesting to see those who show real loyalty.
She'll sit back and look out over the sort of the grass and the wooded area. Commodity that's becoming in shorter and shorter supply these days.
Suppose. Then again, ever since I came here, I think they've always had dislike for me. It's the way it is.
Well, there are a fair number of people out there that certainly don't like hearing the truth.
To be called a coward, though, he'll smile to himself.
They called you a coward.
Aye, Catcha did.
You know, I'd really like to have a conversation with that Bonar. What pack? Who's our alpha?
She has no pack. I know of, anyway.
Lone wolf.
Aye.
Right.
Both look over, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Like, which one, you know?
Huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Please, Raya. The lesson.
Sure. What did I teach you today? He starts thinking. He just stares at her, thinking slowly. He seems very out of focus.
She'll begin to rouse, meaning to move to the base of the stairs as though towards the training grounds. Someplace where, you know, potential blood spilling is kind of overlooked.
And you just walk, like I said, distracted, thinking. Probably Badass, I'm assuming, is following.
Yeah. She's stripping out of the quote-unquote work clothes and down to, like, you know, the slacks and like the sports top.
Yep. And God help her. Gaia help her. At some point, we'll lead them along to this travesty. And with the beads in one hand, we'll probably take her paws at the edge of the training grounds to again fish out little mouse buddy and offer him a hand up to one of the nearby trees where he can stay perched, shielded from aerial predators and well off the ground, so that there's no risk to his health getting trodden upon. And then we'll just kind of continue into the open space and pause there, glancing back while still thumbing over the beads.
Aiden would just be walking quite casually, you know, still pretty distracted looking as he's thinking.
What areas do you think she's lacking in, Raya?
I don't know. I mean, her barbs today were pretty accurate, I will give her credit for. She echoed the proper way. You start to circle her, you know.
And she will
Why should I?
hunker down
Why
on her
should I
knees.
teach you? Why should I teach you a lesson?
As I said, Raya, I failed in my duty to you as Omega.
But I was doing my duty as a ragabash, you see. So in a way, that's more of a positive. That the fact that you recognize someone's acting according to their auspice. So should I punish you for that?
Had I done my duty, Raya, some of the venom would have come out of the barbs, and perhaps you could have approached your own auspice duty in a way that wouldn't have led to catastrophe.
Hmm. I see. You've been studying the auspices then? Circling intensifies.
Raya was raised in the nation. I like to think that I know the roles fairly well.
Hmm. Hmm.
Still calmly thumbing the beads, though there's that little kind of, not even really much of a cant to the head, but you can tell that she's listening. There's just the lightest shifts as he's moving around her.
Well then why should I beat you if you're acting according to your duty? Isn't it not my fault? I acted too quickly.
It is my duty as your Omega, Raya, to ensure that that kind of passion, that kind of anger, are vented elsewhere so that they do not affect your interactions with the pack, with your allies, or with the Sept.
Hmm.
So that you can do your duty
Hmm.
clear-headed.
He'll kneel down in front of her with the bat, using the bat to kneel himself down and look at her. I think you just want me to punish you. Not for a lesson, but for sheer desire of a punishment, if you get me.
She balks a bit at that. That kind of draws her head back a bit. Ooh, I'm echoing. I don't know why you suddenly have an echo, Torna.
Oh no.
Background noise probably took your voice off of noise cancellation.
You're
Am I still echoing? Am I alright?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not hearing myself anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
He'll just look at her. I just think you've grown accustomed to being beaten.
She knits her brow. Raya, without teaching, I grow no better, and I learn nothing. And yeah, there's no need for peonies because again, there's no subterfuge. Ta-da! She's definitely uncomfortable and off center.
But why does the punishment have to be physical? You see, you're obsessed with the fact that I'm going to swing this thing and hit you right in your kidneys. I could if I wanted to very easily. But why do all lessons need to be physical?
That is your choice, Raya, not mine.
Then the smile appears. Were you expecting me to be physical?
Prior experience, Raya, has taught me to expect it, yes.
Is that why you gave Dallas that thing there? And point at Dallas and point at the thing.
It was an apology, Raya.
An apology. And what did you think I would react to it?
But she grows a little more thoughtful at that point because just kind of not deep and mulling, but kind of searching for an answer as if she hadn't expected the question. I hadn't considered it, Raya.
You hadn't considered me in your equation. Ooh. You look over at Dallas and there's a little smile on his face.
Dallas is
That's your first mistake. Oh, go ahead, dude. Go ahead.
Dallas is kind of sitting there now, kind of holding the object in her hand, now realizing what it's for.
That's your first mistake you've made.
Well, he's caught her off center. She very clearly didn't expect this to be the thing that he latched onto and drove after. She can usually kind of predict the angle he's going for, or at least where it's going. But yeah, there's that bit of tension, even with her kneeling, that sends off the cue. That she is not prepared this time around.
You see, the thing is, 10 point, we're a pack. You understand how packs function, right?
I thought so, Raya.
You thought or you don't. You either know or you don't, 10 point. I'd make a decision very quickly. And by the way, not making a decision is a big decision. You'll smile wickedly.
Dallas just rolls her eyes a little bit to tilt the Earth back onto its proper axis after the last time she rolled her eyes a little bit off axis.
I do, Raya.
What's the first rule of understanding you're a pack?
She looks a little bit at a loss.
Oh, come on. You stand up and begin to walk around her. We're all connected, aren't we? What's the first rule you make to yourself in a pack?
And she's blatantly guessing. There's the kind of questioning tone, and it's all over her expression. To consider the reactions of your pack mates to any action you might take, Raya.
Bingo. What else? You're nearly there. So close. He'll smile wickedly as the bat seems to just loosen a bit, so it slides down beside his knee, but he still has the grip on it.
Oh, she's struggling.
It's a big one. And she'll look at it, look at her. Is silence your final answer, 10 point?
No, Raya.
Well, I'm going to count from 10. If I don't have an answer in 10, well, he'll smile. He'll begin to go, 10, 9, 8, 7,
Yeah, she struggles and she reaches and again hazards a guess. To consider, Raya, how they might feel in your actions towards non-pack mates.
On the ballpark figure, but in the right direction, and he swings. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 5. Oh, Jesus. Oh.
So
Oh.
2 of it, but that's still 4 bashing.
And yeah, he'll
I'm
just
gonna
go.
assume it like cracks across like the back of a shoulder or something, or is he going
Yep.
for higher up? Yeah.
Right between the shoulder blades.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, he'll take that downward swing, and it actually pops her forward hard enough to rock her off her knees. And while there's kind of a disconcerting popping noise, there's none of those familiar snapping sounds as she lets out a sharp yelp of pain and then starts kind of gasping for breath in a desperate fashion, kind of shallowly, as though trying to catch air, but at the same time not agitate the injury by taking too much at a time.
Consequences 10 points. You're on the right track. Consequences. See, by not informing me what you were doing, I didn't know what you were doing, so I just assumed. And assumptions are a very dangerous thing to have among packmates. Lies, assumptions. I know you probably meant well, but you're of the worm. I couldn't be too sure, could I?
And she'll start knitting, of course, and kind of having kind of flung forward onto her front, will begin pressing herself back up and back to a perch on her knees, though she's at this point lurched forward with her palms still on the ground. And the beads still somehow clenched in her fingers. What ill ra could I possibly mean with the gift?
You tell me. Gifts can mean many different things, and we know that. After all, for all I know, you could have been trying to do something very untoward towards Dallas. You could have been doing anything, 10 point. Secrets and lies are not something we tolerate among pack members. After all, what would Balian say if he found out you were keeping secrets, even a lovely little gift for a non-pack mate?
It wasn't meant to be secret, Raya.
Is it not? Why did you keep it a secret? Do you not trust me?
Of course I do, Raya.
Then why? And he brings down the club again. 3. 7. Yeah, 7. That's 4.
Soaked one.
Hot diggity damn dice.
It's a good thing he's taken so long to talk between fucking swings.
Fucking Discord, man.
Yep, she's knitted herself up and just started to press herself up again the rest of the way when another swing lurches her to the side. Not knocking her completely over this time, but definitely forming a massive blooming bruise across her arm and the back of her ribs.
Why did you lie? Or hide it? Because you just simply told me. I would have understood immediately. After all, honesty is the best policy. What Balian will say as he levies the club up.
Raya, I didn't lie, and I didn't mean to keep it a secret. I simply thought that after my failure, it was only proper to offer a gift, an apology.
Oh, of course. But acting out against the pack, we don't know. After all, this isn't the first time you've done this. Done things without discussing us. After all, we had to rescue you before, and I am quite sick of you acting out. And he swings. Oh no.
Yep, this time she kind of throws her arms up.
So, and it's diff 5. Is in the diff 5 this club? Please let it be diff 5.
What? It's
Isn't it diff 5
5.
to hit this club? Oh, thank God. I was just looking for, I couldn't remember. I was having the heart palpitations of 1, 2, 3.
Oh, it reminds me. I think I upped a stat.
7.
But that won't matter for soak. Jesus. None of it soaked.
No.
What a wonderful world.
Like I said, I'm counting off those 3 seconds, motherfucker.
Dallas is like sitting on like a pile of like, recently chopped logs. So she's kind of lounging back, got one leg crossed up the over and her arms behind her head, and she's just singing "A Wonderful World" out loud along with the music.
Yep, this time 10 Point kind of brings her arms up as she sees the shillelagh lift. And, blocks her head, which is good. Because her arms are all kinds of purple now. And, she topples the fuck over again. This time she stays on the ground. Kind of lowering her arms against her body.
1 step, 2 step, foot in the throat, press. I've had enough things disobeying me, going behind my back, and insulting me for the last 2 weeks. Do you understand?
She'll do her best attempt at a frantic little nod, considering there's a foot on her throat.
Foot kind of gently releases. Good. That's the lesson. Obey and discuss with your pack. Otherwise, I'll make sure that welt on your kidney is far bigger and far more painful. Because I'll hit it every day. And you regenerate. I'll hit it again. And you'll regenerate. Do you understand?
She finally gives her arms a little bit of a shift to glance as the last of the bruising fades.
At this point, Dallas is at the point where she's like, I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you.
Suddenly very glad she's lying on her back. So glad.
Now, all the rebellious actions today have made me thirsty. And for good measure, he's going to swing. Oh, Aiden. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, come on, computer. Oh, it's only 4.
This time she'll soak too. So what exactly is this gesture he's doing, considering she's laying on the ground?
Basically, he just swings the club and just basically swings it in a circle so it hits her straight in the chest.
Yeah, in that case, while her ribs are preserved, barely, he definitely smacks the wind out of her, and it comes out in a whoosh, at which point, again, she wincingly, with her arms crossing over the injured area, will attempt to get her wind back but find herself each time she sucks it in, shooting it out again as the expanding of her chest creates lances of pain.
I think she got the message, didn't she, Dallas? And you should look over at Dallas.
Dallas has got her foot moving to the music, and she just kind of nods. Be afraid.
After all,
I won't shed a tear.
and I'm sure at some point he'll say, if there's any more little talk of trouble among the kin, you'll be the first to tell me, won't you?
Yes, right. There's a quick little nod to go with it. Especially if he's still in swinging range.
Oh, he's well in swing range. And make sure you tell me who is having them so stressed. And he brings it down right in the juicy bit.
She's still laying on her back. No love for you.
Mm-hmm.
Not unless you're going to kick her over first.
He'll kick her over. Do you want me to roll for that?
Yes, because she does not want to go on her belly. She knows exactly what that means.
Like ball time. Oh, Jesus. That's 2.
And I guess I will roll block? I guess? Damned if I do, damned if I don't, really. Okay, well, she fails, but she tries. She actually, like, braces a leg in such a way as to make it harder to roll her over, but he manages to exert enough force to override it, pitch her onto her stomach.
Oh, she resists. Oh, that's interesting. So, he will spend a point of rage. First swing.
Oh, that's just mean.
He resisted. that's
I like saying that's 2 for flinching.
That's the first damage roll.
Bam!
Oh, God, you soaked a good bit of that.
Yep, so that's 2 on the first one. Go for the second one. She's not spending rage. She does not really have the time to think about it.
That's the third one. Oh, it's not. Oh, there it is. Oh, Jesus, mother of that's.
So between the 2, that's 5.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the first wrap right in the fucking sweetmeats. Thanks, buddy. Is oh god, did you take the higher diff and everything when you rolled it? And the extra damage? God damn it. Yeah,
oh,
so
I didn't. Yeah, no, I took all the extra damage. Yeah, no, we're good.
oh god. So yeah, the first hit again sails the breath out of her, and she kind of bears down with like her forehead against the ground, expecting that to be it. And so when the second one hits, right as she's sucking her breath back in, you get this heinous yelp of pain and surprise. After which she's going to like curl up on her side, unless he's actually forcing her to stay, like putting a foot on her or something to keep her on her stomach.
Oh yeah, there's this hard, basically. Do you think he'll get that less than 10 point? It's like right on her like chest, on her leg, basically. The like right between the cruciate ligament, basically.
Yep, she frantically nods her head again, pressing up under her. Oh, not even pressing up onto her elbows. Actually, yeah, because she was trying to curl back up. So her arms have kind of tucked in, putting her just a bit off the ground, and her head nods rapidly as her breath is going in and out in like wheezing, whimpering kind of noises.
I suspect he will. He'll look over and go, put the club over his shoulder. I'm thirsty, Dallas.
Dallas, at this point, kind of looks up. Let's smirk. iPod playing some other music now that's not really relevant. But she'll hop down off the wood pile. Yeah, you probably are.
Let's go get a drink. I need to plan when the next sea catcher next. He'll put the club over his shoulder and walk.
And he starts to walk, and 10 Point does the unthinkable and actually calls attention back to herself. She's slowly, carefully getting back onto her knees as he says this, considering the nature of the lesson, says, Raya.
Yes, 10 Point.
About Katja.
Yes.
I was able to hear a measure of her history before coming to this sept, Raya.
Working now.
Dallas suddenly around.
The club comes up and she walks over like a fucking panther, like circling the juiciest piece of meat ever. Like, I mean, he gets right up in her personal space.
Oh yeah, she's kind of curled a little bit at this point because she's already, God damn it, she already got her beating.
Purple circle.
All up in her purple circle.
Dallas, for her part, is certainly more intrigued and has not quite stepped in as close as Aiden, because at this point she hasn't been invited, but she's close enough.
Raya. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Arms crossed and everything, her eyes intently on 10 Point.
The club immediately merges behind his back as he's leaning right in, so almost she's whispering into his ear, basically.
When you went on the mission and I was forced to give up my place, she and the Wormfoe remained behind with me. And she told him of her rite of passage. She comes from Getstock, Raya.
Really now? Well, that is interesting. As he looks over at Dallas with this big grin.
Damn it, I don't have a lot of willpower, man. What moon phase is it?
I'm fairly sure it's like half at worst. Give me 1 second. Current moon phase.
It's a waxing gibbous, so it's like difficulty
5.
plus. All right. Oh.
Don't worry, you ran out that extra rage, remember, on all the patrols and all that chair breaking. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna have to bully 10 Point. I'm gonna spend the willpower point, but let's go ahead and see what happens. No. I spent it, don't worry.
Thank God.
I want to kill 10 Point. Oh, good thing. Dallas is like just it. Dallas has been pretty easy going, aside from the chair breaking. Almost to the point of being, flippant and aloof and just generally silly. But now suddenly, it's like a powder keg has been set off inside Dallas. And like her, she maybe grows half an inch, but doesn't quite get to any different form. Her eyes have turned an amber color, and she's going to activate reflexively Visage of Fenris.
You succeed automatically
I still
because
have to
I'm a
roll
bitch.
for it. I have to
Does
roll
the number
for
of
it.
successes make a difference?
It doesn't, but I have to roll to actually activate it.
Okay, like, yeah. You can roll to activate it in case you fail, but you automatically succeed.
Charisma plus intimidation. Okay, it's one of my 4 dice ones. Woo! Woo! And Torno, we lucked out today, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
What did we learn today about keeping secrets? To not
Oh, no.
Oh no.
She doesn't
See,
No,
seem
no, no.
intimidating at
I'm just
all.
saying, for what it's worth, I was told you don't even have to roll, you automatically succeed.
Do you?
Like by Duncan, I was told that you don't have to roll. If it subverts her will, you automatically succeed.
Oh, well then. Yeah, Visage of Fenris activated.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I didn't know Duncan had signed off on that shit. So, with that being said, she's gonna definitely charge forward. And I don't know, Aiden may get in her way, may not, because she definitely looks like she's pissed.
He
But
just simply
she's-
raises the club like basically between 10 Point and Dallas.
Every word you can remember, Mule. Every word. And like her eyes are glowing at this point.
Well, all the fake calm is gone now. And 10 Point actually, as disgraceful as it may be, kind of skitters in terror. Like, she's on the ground, so it's kind of a crawl, but like gets behind Aiden's ankle and begins trembling. Shut up, phone. 1 second. There we go. Wait, not that. Mute. There we go. Raya, she told us that she earned her limp on her rite of passage. She was gravely injured and fled the rite. And found a place among the Bonars who would find a use for her.
Coward! She's just gonna look at Aiden. And the look
Right now,
is
I'm getting the gift ready.
so crystal clear on her face. She wants so much to be able to take what she's got burning inside her right now out on somebody. You don't even need to roll it.
That is literally Aiden's reaction when he hears that. Oh.
10 Point is like clinging to his pant leg, hiding behind his ankles. It's
Aiden,
pretty.
He just
Raya.
closes his eyes and is like, oh.
Aiden, Raya.
Oh.
The rage is burning
Give me a minute.
true. My fists
Give
need
me a
to
minute,
hit
Dallas.
something.
I'll go hit the post. Just give me a second. Just take
God
that
damn
in.
it.
She say that again for me, 10 Point. Just so I hear it that one more time.
And wherever direction Dallas shifts, 10 Point like just shifts a little further behind the legs. She came from Getstock and fled her rite of passage after taking grievous injury and earning her limp.
Rage shifting to Krenos and that poor fucking. Because I'm going to take a point of rage for that.
I was
That
gonna
poor
say,
fucking post.
How much rage are you spending in mangling this post, good sir?
Three, where she is literally lifting it out of the ground and just. I mean, it's one of those big, like, it's like a good 15-foot post, and she just plucks it out of the ground like a carrot and just starts smashing it on the ground.
And she found a place among the Bonars. The worm foe was not pleased.
Oh, I bet he would. Again, that face literally happened. Oh. Oh, I need to lie down after that. He smiles to himself and looks at her.
The the post has been turned into a canoe. She has dug huge gashes out of it with just a frenzy of claw swipes.
Which,
And
well,
Aiden just
normally
looks at
10
her.
Go ahead.
Aiden just looks at her with a big smile. 10 point.
Yes,
Oh, 10
Rhea?
point. Why didn't you tell me this sooner? Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
It didn't seem to be the right time, Rhea.
Oh, 10 point.
Dallas is skulking over in greenhouse and just looking at 10 point.
And yeah, let's face it. Normally, she would invite doing her job even for Dallas, but that visage of Fenris though, so she's still like clinging to the back of Aiden's legs and trembling in terror.
I make no apologies because I know you love this shit.
Oh yeah.
This is going to be, after showing that display of strength, is going to be a strength intimidate.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be 10 d10 at difficulty 7. Two. As she's just like, say it again!
No. I think we've heard it enough now. No. Aiden just smiles to himself.
For what it's worth, 10 point doesn't look like she has the faculties at the moment to say it again anyways. She's kind of a
We don't
quivering
want to
little
scare
heap.
We don't want to scare the way thing.
She'll look over at Aiden as she's just like, speak for yourself.
No.
And she'll relax down into Hamid, now devoid of the better chunk of
See,
her rage.
Dallas 10 point has given me the most valuable information she can on Katja. Because Katja called me a coward. Because I got angry at kinfolk. You see, we're not going to go off in a rage now and rightfully raise hell. No. No. When she accuses us of something, let's make sure everyone hears how little Katja dishonored an entire tribe. Then we'll see who's the coward. Because after all, we passed our rite of passage. And we're proper guru. So let's wait. And when it happens, oh, you better believe I'm going to enjoy it. Because if she frenzies, you know what to do, don't you? You look over at Dallas doing that smile and the wink.
Did we lose Vinny?
No, Dallas is kind of standing there just huffing and puffing. She's not saying anything. She just kind of gives a thumbs up as she's kind of like bent over at the side.
And you reach over and like grab 10 point by the head and just look at her. See, now there's the thing that impressed me. You did good, 10 point. Very good.
Is he grabbing
Keep it
antler or
up.
hair?
Hair. So,
Yep.
I think this calls for a drink, everybody. And let's plan. The right opportunity to remind those who insult tradition why she belongs with the bone marrow. You just lets go of 10 points hair and strides up, kicks up the bat into the air and catches it and just starts whistling quite merrily, walking to go get a pint.
Oh, 10 Point gonna be following so close because Dallas is so fucking angry. And you know what? She may be smaller now,
Not
but
even angry
that
at
shit
her.
lasts for a scene.
She's like right on 10 Point's heels.
Sadly, she can't get away with
close as you can get to the purple circle without stepping on her.
yeah, she can't very well just walk in front of Aiden, so she's just
She's in the middle of a
she's
hate.
so
She is the
close.
meat. She's in the meat in a hate sandwich.
Aiden is just striding by, whistling quite merrily at everybody, like, "Oh, today is a good day, boys." As he's walking.
Yeah, let's be honest. Between that gift and the fact that she is like, oh my god, right there, right fucking there. 10 Point will probably be quaking and may even like straight stumble from it, like knees giving out in fear at least once on the way back.
Oh, Aiden is too happy. He looks like he just looks like he's won the lottery.
Like when she gets down to her knees, like Dallas is going to be like right by her head, slapping her hands together. Come on, double time. Let's go. Up on your feet.
You can just make her cower more.
Come on. Up. Hop. Two.
Dallas.
Left foot, right foot.
Dallas.
Right foot. Yes.
There'll be a slow turn. Come here, 10 Point. Come here. Put his arm out.
Frantic scramble into the arm.
Puts his arm around you. Let me comfort you in your distress, 10 Point. It's fine. You did good, didn't she? She gave us the best news we could have gotten all day.
That's great news, but I'm so fucking angry right now.
Well, then go cool off. Come back when you're ready. Me and 10 Point here, or we're going to celebrate. And he'll just walk, basically, whistling quite merrily with 10 Point. It probably makes 10 Point like shit herself probably even more, but he is way too happy, and that smile is all there.
Dallas
You know
walked
what?
past on her phone. Clara, do you have like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes tops?
Yeah, 10 Point is cowering into the arm because you know what? This kind of happy Aiden is a bad thing, but Visage of Fenris is worse. So yes, with this happy trio just gallivanting away, we will say thank you, players, for playing and watchers for watching. And we will see you next time on another episode of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York.